It's Heath Mullikin of the Stud Stable. We're coming up on week 11 of the 2012 Flair for the Gold fantasy football season, and there's 4 things I want to address this week in order. First of all, last week there was a video put out that was disgraceful and distasteful, and it was terrible. You see, boys, when the Stud Stable makes a video, we don't have to edit anything because we know what we're going to say, because we have a skill people call talking. When we cut a promo, we don't have to cut it down. We just cut it, we turn the camera on, and we make it happen. You guys were acting like you were on a Hollywood movie set. Cut! Action! I mean, it was terrible. And I don't know if you had Jam Patterson writing your cue cards, but either you guys can't read or you can't write. When the Stud Stable cuts a promo, it's off the top of our head. It's off what's in our heart. And then you had Mo Man coming out tasing people, beating people. You guys, Bruiser Brody hadn't made a video in 3 years, but you bring him in and tase him. That guy's in first place. Which leads me to point number 2. Yahoo, get it together. Get it together. If you want to have the greatest fantasy football league, that's right, the Flair for the Gold League, if you want to have us on your servers, you're going to have to keep your servers running. You cannot afford to have Sunday morning meltdowns because it is not going to cut it. More than one team in our league affected. As a matter of fact, you almost cost me a victory as I was taking a guy out of my lineup that was suspended, replacing him with Steven Jackson, who had his best week of the season, but it happened on my bench. Which brings me to point number 3. Yahoo, your mistake did not affect me. Because on Monday night, Mr. Mountain West, you were trying your best to come back. You were trying your best to take the Stud Stable down. You were trying your best to have your Hollywood ending, and it didn't happen. Big Ben down with the injury. And it's about time that the Stud Stable overcame their injury bug. Yeah, we had more injuries this week. Fred Jackson with a concussion, out. But it didn't matter that Steven Jackson's 18 points were on our bench because we held on, Mr. Mountain West. We held on for a win because that's what winners do. And now the Stud Stable's in 4th place. And if we win this week, you know what we do? We clinch a playoff berth. And boys, you don't want that to happen. You don't want us to clinch a playoff berth. Because if we do, if we get in the playoffs, we will win the playoffs. And that leads me to point number 4. This week, Tatanka, you can try to make all the trades. You can try to do a bunch of shady stuff. You can cut your whole roster. It is not going to make a difference. See, not only do you have the worst name in our league, you have the worst team in our league. Your record doesn't show it. But this week, I'm going to clinch my playoff berth, and I'm going to eliminate you from playoff contention. Because whether you like it or you don't like it, I don't care. Because we're the Stud Stable, and you're not.